Hi everyone, welcome to Money Monday. I have the always sweet Rory face with me and fish pajamas. So that's what we're doing today. Let's jump into the questions. All right, Donna Galvan says, congratulations on your 2-year anniversary on YouTube. I love watching your videos and look forward to watching them. I have a savings question for you. The Capital One 360, can you name your savings account, like clothing, car, vacation, etc.? And if so, how do you do that? Don't know if there's a place to name them. I'm interested, but not sure yet. Yes, you can name them. My sinking funds, and originally I think I thought this question was about what my sinking funds are named, so I wrote them all down, so I'll read them to you. Right now I have 14 sinking funds, and they are my emergency fund, my long-term savings, Christmas, pet, medical for me, electrical overflow, car repair, laptop fund, Pigfest fund, Operation Christmas Child, birthday fund, Domino Cruise Fund, which is an eventual vacation fund to go visit a friend, my lawn sinking fund, and YouTube tax savings. That's 14 sinking funds. Now don't get overwhelmed if you're thinking about starting some sinking funds. Wherever you decide to start them as you feel the need to, as you find a reason and a need within your budget to do that. So I started with just a couple. Like I knew I needed, I think my first one was probably a Christmas sinking fund because I knew I needed to do that. And then I added in a car repair fund and all that. So yeah, you can name them. That's exactly what they're called in my account, and they're just, there's my checking account and then all of those by name, and I can see the balances and do all that fun stuff. So I will link to Capital One 360 below. I am not an affiliate, but I recommend them because I've used them as an online banking source for years, and that's where I keep all my sinking funds, and they're just very easy to use, and I've never had a problem. So I always recommend them because that's what I use. Alrighty. Amithity 80 says, awesome job paying down your debt. I started my debt-free journey 5 months ago, and that's the time I stumbled upon your YouTube channel. I had no idea you started the journey 2 years ago. My debt-free date is 31 months from now. Question, you said in the video that surprisingly your credit card score or your credit score is great as you pay down your debt. Is that because you're leaving your credit card accounts open and not closing them, or is this debt mostly student loans? Well, all of my debt is student loans. But before I started the debt-free journey, I did have a couple of credit cards. I had a Walmart card in college that I actually maxed out and then paid off while I was still in college and got rid of. Fortunately, it was only like $1,000, but that was the first, should have been a warning as to how credit cards were a bad idea for me. And then after college, I decided that I needed to try to rebuild my credit. So I got one of those credit cards where you pay a yearly fee, and I used it kind of semi-regularly, and I paid it off constantly. And so that kind of, because my credit was bad. I don't think it was ever actually like bad, but it was in the poor. It was in like the second to worst. It was the second to worst. It was in that range. And so when I started trying to get my finances under control, I did have that credit card where I paid like $50 a year to have it, and I put 1 or 2 bills on it, and I paid it off every single month. And I started to realize that I didn't need credit cards. I just needed to manage my money better. So, and I did close that account. I closed that account completely because I didn't want to keep paying $50 a year. That was ridiculous. I do have a couple other credit accounts out in the ether that are open that I have not touched in years. I'm pretty sure I still have a Sam Goodies credit card, which is no longer a business. So I don't know if they ever canceled that credit card or not, but I'm pretty sure I have a Belt credit card and a Target credit card. I have probably 5. I probably have like 1 regular credit card and 4 store cards. That sounds about right. Now, none of those are canceled because none of them are negatively affecting me. However, I do not have the cards still. I have not touched them. I would not recommend keeping card accounts open if you're going to use them. I don't use them. I don't even know the numbers to call to use them. I mean, I don't keep those cards in my wallet. I don't own those cards anymore, and they just, they just were never closed. I'm sure eventually they've like cut my credit down on them lower, but I'm pretty sure the fact that my credit has gone up has been because I've just paid regular bills regularly. And the reason that I haven't closed those card accounts is because I've read in several places that just, if they're not charging you, if it's not a thing, just kind of leave them open and forget about it. You know, check your credit report and make sure nobody's using them. Because you're not using them, they shouldn't be being used. But I don't see a problem with closing your card accounts either. Dave recommends to shut everything down and then work with no credit, just nothing. I don't disagree with that. I'm not actively going against it. I just, my credit is good now. It doesn't really affect me one way or the other because I'm not seeking any sort of credit. I bought my car, I paid cash. I wasn't going to finance it. When eventually I buy a house, I'll probably have it underwritten. But it's just when at mint.com, I keep some of my balances in there just to check on them, and it tells you what your credit is. And so you just see it when you log in. You're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So for me, yeah, that's just kind of interesting that now that I don't use credit cards at all, I have excellent credit. And of course, all the credit card companies want to, you know, offer me this money because suddenly I'm a very good candidate because I'm responsible with my money. When before I was a terrible candidate, I did horrible with my money. So, yeah, I'm guessing that's the reason I have excellent credit now, but I don't plan on doing anything with it. I'm not going to take out any lines of credit or anything like that. So, but you asked, so I figured I would tell you. Alrighty. Anthony Bonner says, oh yeah, did you ever check out Till Debt Do Us Part? Brandy in Georgia. I tried really hard. I really wanted to see Till Debt Do Us Part, but it's a Canadian TV show. And while it's free to watch on the TV show's channel, if you live in Canada, you can't access it here. And I even tried some of those websites that are not entirely above the board where you can watch TV, if you know what I'm talking about. But I haven't been able to find it. So if anyone has like DVDs or has digital copies of these TV shows, please, I don't know, email them to me or send me a link or something, because I would love to watch Till Debt Do Us Part. And she has another show too about like it's like 16, 18 and buried in debt or something. It's about like young people that are terrible with their finances, and I was able to watch like half of one of those shows on YouTube, and I haven't been able to find any more. I have, however, been watching a new American show called Life or Debt that is on Spike TV, and you can watch the first episode, like anyone can access it on their site, and then the other one, the other episode, you have to have a network login, but it's really good. And this guy comes in, and he's bald and he's scary, and I should know who he is, but I just don't. And he goes in and he like reworks people's finances. He's very Dave-like. He's like, you need to do this like a business, and he's like, you're the CEO and you're the CFO, and this is how you're gonna make a plan and do better. And it's very entertaining and it's very good. I hope they keep it going. So yeah, check that out on Spike TV. Not an affiliate, obviously. I'm a girl on YouTube. Okie dokie. Nikki Masters says, and I'm just going to summarize this. She is a young mom living in Australia. She has shared custody, can't move or anything like that. Has a fixed government check that comes in that covers her bills, her basic bills, without a shadow of a doubt. That includes rent, childcare, debt payments, food, etc. And then she says her son's father pays her assistance for our son, basically his share towards savings, clothing, childcare. However, this is only when he's working, and he hasn't been working lately. So she never budgets that income. And then she says she's just gained some casual work, which will be weekly payments. My question to you is, how do I redo my budgeting formatting from once a month as it was to once a week, plus once a fortnight, because I'll still be getting supplemental pay? How do I make sure nothing falls through cracks and each bill is thought of and accounted for. I don't think you need to switch to weekly because a lot of your bills are still going to be monthly. Your rent is still going to be monthly. Your electrical is still going to be monthly. It sounds, since you said on several things that like I just didn't budget for that because I don't budget that because I know it's coming in or I don't know it's coming in. What I think you should do is an irregular income budget, and it is an excellent tool for when you don't know exactly what is coming in. And I will link to Dave Ramsey's free irregular budgeting forms below on his website, and they can better explain it. But basically what you do is you make a list of all of your expenses from most important to least important, and then you budget to cover your four walls and everything like that based on the minimum amount that you know that's coming in. So this government supplemental money that you know is coming in, there's nothing that can happen to that. Budget all of your regular bills to come out of that, and then basically anything below that is it would be nice if we can pay this if we have the money, from most important to least important. And then so anytime that irregular income comes in, if your son's father gives you some money, you then know what to apply it to. So you have that priority list. Say it's debt repayment, and as soon as you get money from him, it goes towards that. Or the next thing might be your son really likes some new shoes, he doesn't really need them. Maybe that is what comes in next of the extra money that you're making or that he's making, and you set it up that way. It's basically a prioritized list, and you check off that list every single month, and that makes sure nothing falls through the cracks. So I will link that below. Good luck in your situation. Alrighty, Deanna K. Clark says, hey, so I have credit card debt, student loan, and a personal. I want to take out a debt consolidation loan and pay off all three and just pay just that one loan. I want to do that because the longer I take to pay off that loan, the more interest it grows. What advice can you give me on that one? Okay, Deanna, I can't recommend that you consolidate your debt, and I'll tell you exactly why. Dave says this all the time, is that you can't borrow your way out of debt. So you can't just move money around and trick yourself into thinking that that is fixing the problem. Now, I'm not assuming that that is what you're doing, but it is what a lot of people do. And he's got all these cool statistics, or kind of saddening statistics. I will link a wonderful article why he does not recommend consolidating loans below. Please read it. It's got all the statistics in it. Basically, it says that when you consolidate, these people that do this for you, yes, you get a lower interest rate, but they do that by extending the length of the loan. And the way that they make this a viable business model is that the longer you have a loan, the more money you pay. So you're not saving money by consolidating loans. He actually calls it a con. It's just you're trying to do something, and it's the wrong thing to do. What I would instead recommend is baby step this off, snowball it. So make sure that you can pay your minimums and everything, throw anything extra to your smallest debt, and then roll that up. It's harder work, I know, it really is, but it's not letting you procrastinate this. And going through some big kind of consolidation process is honestly a way to kind of procrastinate it, put this off. Just deal with it. Don't let anyone help you stretch this out. Just get mad at it. Get rid of it. The only thing that Dave says it's okay to consolidate on is federal student loans. And that is more of a refinancing process of if you have like 15 student loans, they consolidate that into one federal student loan base, and you get 1%. That he does not say is a con. I actually did that with my loans, though I could not tell you that that came out better for me. In the end, it was just, I was so stupid. And right when I got out of college and I started getting the bills, I had like 9 student loans. And I was getting a different bill every single day, and all of the due dates were different, and all of the interest rates were different. And to this day, I could not tell you what the individual interest rates on those were, and I could not tell you if by refinancing to 6.8% in the consolidation, if I lost or it helped me. I have a feeling I probably ended up with a higher interest rate than I would have had. But the mindset I was in was just, I I can't deal with this. Maybe I could deal with one. So I feel like I might know a little bit of how you're feeling. Go ahead, take a deep breath, do the work, separate it out, see if you can manage this without doing that, because it's probably not going to help you in the long run. The statistics in the article that I have linked below says that it draws people into more debt by doing that, because it makes you feel like you've handled the debt when you really haven't. And you're more likely to reborrow it after you've consolidated, and I can't recommend it based off of Dave's recommendation. I have never personally done that other than my student loan consolidation, but he makes some really good points. So read that article below, and good luck. All right. Schnauzer Mom says, once you are debt free, do you think you will double or triple your pocket money? Yeah, totally. Oh, totally. I get $50 a month right now. I would love to have like $150 or something to play with. However, I will say that I will probably not just like spend like crazy, because one of the really cool things that I've kind of learned going along this journey is that stuff isn't really that important. In fact, I am happier the less cluttered my house is and the less stuff I have to move from location to location. And I've been trying to purge a lot of my possessions, especially ones that I brought here all the way from Louisiana and have not touched in 9 months. So what I will probably do instead of just like randomly spending triple my pocket money is I will probably purchase experiences and trips and visits to see my friends that I haven't seen since college, and just get to kind of live life more. And I would love to just kind of have the money to go away on weekends with Rory and, you know, go experience stuff and like go, you know, kayak somewhere, hike somewhere, do something like that with a friend, which is not something I can afford to do right now. I can afford to spend time with friends that are close, but I can't really travel right now. It's not in the budget. So that is what I will probably do with the extra pocket money. And I'm really looking forward to that. All right. Meg P had a similar question. She said, once your debt is paid and you have room in your budget for more fun money, do you think you'll still feel guilty for spending it? Will there have to be a certain amount in your savings before you'll be able to spend freely without hesitation? I'm 24 years old and I have very little debt and a nice income. I try to justify my spending by thinking that when I'm older, I'll be married, have children, and a house. It won't be so easy convenient for me to pick up and travel at my leisure. Now, Meg, I don't know a whole lot about your life, but I will address this point by point. I don't think I'll feel guilty for spending money, because I don't really feel that guilty for spending it now. I put like 60% of my income towards debt right now. So that's, I feel like I'm doing my part there. I don't feel guilty for spending the $50 a month that I give myself to kind of live off of. I just don't. I sometimes feel guilty when I come up on bigger purchases, because I know that will take away from my debt. For instance, my laptop on my keyboard, or my keyboard on my laptop just clunked out. And this was a cheap little laptop I bought a couple of years ago, just kind of make do. I keep buying little things like this to make do until I'm debt free and I can invest more in them. And I'm going to have to buy a new laptop, which is fine because I have a laptop fund. I knew this was coming. I knew the little laptop I bought was only going to last me a year or two. And it's actually, now it's just a tablet. It was the little 2-in-1, but the keyboard no longer works at all. I can just chuck it. It's a stand now. So I have money in a sinking fund to go buy a new laptop, and I've been kind of hesitating on it all day because I'm like, that's a lot of money. But at the same time, I need a laptop. I need a laptop to edit these videos and put these out for you, and to surf the web and to do stuff. whatever we do online. But I don't really feel guilty about it. It's just harder to make bigger purchases when you're kind of on a journey where you're trying to spend as little as possible to reach a goal. Will I have to have a certain amount in savings before I'll spend freely without hesitation? I do not think I will ever spend without hesitation again. Well, maybe. Maybe not. Okay. Because I have that personal money, I think I'm pretty much always able to spend that personal money without hesitation, because I've drilled it into my brain that this is for you. You can spend this. And so I buy whatever I want with that. Sometimes it's really practical things like a new shirt to work out in. And sometimes it's not practical things like a pretty piece of art I saw at a yard sale. But I have almost no issue at all handing that over, because that's delegated money. It's earmarked for enjoy this. Do what you wish with it. I don't think I'll have hesitation spending a larger amount of that. I do not think I will ever go out and just like make a rain. Let's go eat at the most expensive restaurant. Let's go, take the cab 3 blocks. I don't think I'll ever do that. I think I've seen how easy it is to get into debt and to overspend, and I don't think I'll ever do that. As for your situation, I have to say I'd recommend the same thing. Just budget out your money. Give yourself a reasonable amount to spend and do whatever you want with, and then just enjoy it. Put a reasonable amount towards your debt. Get that out of there so you don't start a new life once you get married and get settled down with that in your but have money there for you to enjoy if you make a good income. There's nothing wrong with that. Give yourself permission to be like, I want a Coach bag. I have money earmarked that I'm not going to put to debt and I'm not going to put to rent. This is for me to enjoy life, and I want to exchange it for this pretty, very gorgeous, buttery, leathery Coach bag. And then enjoy that Coach bag and love it. And don't go crazy. Don't buy every Coach bag, but buy the one that you want and you've budgeted money for, and enjoy your life. I hope that answered your question and helped. All right, last question. Sarah Capria says, Budget Girl, Murphy got in my home. On Saturday, while putting groceries up, my husband dropped a can opener on the smooth stovetop and cracked all the left burners. I am stoveless. I do have an emergency fund that will cover a new stove, $800 approximate, but I also don't cook so much, only like on a weekend basis. It's just me and him, and we mostly eat out or quick food and easy to make. The right 2 burners are intact, but I still have a safety concern to use it. Also, I guess I could use the oven and maybe a sinking fund and envelope for a new stove. What do you recommend? Help. Okay, first of all, get somebody in there and make sure that that stove is safe, and that it is not leaking gas or doing anything crazy. Please unplug it and shut off the gas and do whatever you need to do to make sure that it's safe for you currently. And you probably think I'm overreacting, but I really don't think I. Get somebody in there. Make sure that the stove is currently safe and that it's not going to explode or set your house on fire or poison yourself and your loved ones. Then ask that same person if it would be safe to just use some of the burners and leave the other ones off. If they say yes, then I don't see a problem with that. That's exactly what I would do. The light went out, and this is where I show how smart I am about stoves and appliances. The light, like the flame light, went out on half of my stove for a while, and I called my landlord and I was like, is this unsafe? And they were like, no, probably not. And so for like a month I continued to just use the other burners because I said it was fine. And then my family came and visited, and they were like, yeah, it's probably been leaking small amounts of gas. And they opened the stove and relit the little flame, and it worked again. So take that information and process it as you will, that I didn't know that you could do that. Now, my stove was not broken. One of the lights had just gone out. Flames. I don't know what they're called. If you need a new stove, feel free to go ahead and use your emergency fund for that. However, if you think you can get by, I mean, I would consider that an emergency, especially if it is a safety hazard. Get that out of there. However, your idea to do a sinking fund for it is also a fantastic idea. If you think that you can prolong this big purchase or spread it out so you don't have to spend as much money right now on it, I would absolutely recommend that, as long as the current stove is safe. I'm very scared for you. There was also a comment below that by Jen W saying check Habitat Humanity restores and for a discount stove, something like that. I completely agree with that. Check Craigslist, check charity shops, check anything that might have stuff like that. For a stove, you may not have to spend $800 on a new one. You might be able to get somebody to fix it or to find a cheaper one to replace it. So just check all of your options, make sure that you're safe, and then good luck to you on that. And thank you for asking, and I really hope you're okay, because I'm scared. And that is all the questions I have time for today. I will see you all next week. Oh, no, I forgot. I had some congratulations, and I love it when you guys tell me your wins. Julie Fox says, we're debt-free. I made the last snowball payment this week, and we are done paying off $31,000 in debt. Hooray! And internet high five. Go you, Julie. I am so happy for you. I had just a little more than that I started, so every time you guys kind of tell me that you've paid off around the same amount I started with, I'm like, see, it can be done. And you continually prove it to me. Congratulations. And Sandy Lila says she wanted to tell me that she finished baby step 3 today. Hooray! And I might have done that one before, but you know what? It deserves another hooray. Hooray! Alright, so leave me your questions below, and as always, tell me if you have made any money wins, because I want to do this for you. I love your money wins, and Rory loves your money wins. See? She definitely loves your money wins. So I will see you all in my next video. Alright, bye.